There we go. This fucking computer. Anyway, good evening, folks. Week one's in the books, and we're gonna talk about it. I have a guest actually in the kitchen tonight, and we're gonna start with him first. We're gonna bring in Joffrey Curry, who's like right over there.
Well, I mean, given that somebody got off work late tonight and did not have enough time to make it back home after meeting up to borrow a laptop since my dog broke mine, yeah, figured it was in our best interest for me to just record live from Adam's kitchen.
It's fucking looks like shit. Anyway, I don't know whose kitchen that is. All right.
This guy's.
Yeah, I know. Fucking, it's mine. I know. There's shit everywhere. Anyway, that's the life we live. We're gonna bring in Cleveland gentleman next, Mr. John. What's happening, buddy?
What's up, Adam? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait to hear about your in-game experience. I saw pictures of you that you were at the game, so can't wait to hear about.
Yeah, a lot of fun
to hear about what happened in the game. And yes, Jason has joined us. He's backstage. Ready to bring him in right now. I'm sure he's overjoyed and maybe double overjoyed. Let's find out.
Overjoyed and double overjoyed? That's a fucking elation, man. Are you kidding me? I am pumped. We don't need no stinking Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love, baby. Bring on number 10. I'm feeling the love in Green Bay again, guys. How you doing?
He must be a Green Bay fan. Got it.
You think?
Oh, wait, that's the fifth game I can talk about.
Adam, it's a pleasure to be back on the show, man. Glad to have you. Glad to be with you again.
Yeah. It's been a little bit of time. A lot of shit going on in Adam's life that just drew away from all this right now. But we're gonna break down. We're gonna get right into it. What did you boys think of that Thursday night game? Jay, I'll start with you because I know you probably did not want that team to win.
Yeah, did not want that team to win, but it is what it is. I thought it was typical Thursday night game. Nothing too impressive, nothing too outstanding. Again, week one of the season, so week one overreaction. We'll wait to see how the rest of the season plays out, but pretty much went the way it went, and wasn't expecting much else, to be honest with you.
So you wanted the Lions. You thought the Lions were going to win this game.
I did, and as a Packers fan, it's hard for me to admit this, Adam, but I think the Detroit Lions have some claws on their paws this season. I really do. That organization clearly has some young talent on both sides of the football. Aiden Hutchinson is a man beast on the defensive side. And then when you look at all the skill players that they have, the young, talented skill players on the other side of the football, Jared Goff, he threw 29 touchdowns last season. He was pretty darn good. And that young team seems to have bought into what Dan Campbell has sold. And I really think now that Campbell has kind of set that expectation, that bar there, he now has to raise it a little bit higher. So assuming the Lions can stay fairly relatively healthy, assuming that their young skill players at both sides of the ball continue to develop the way Dan Campbell wants them to, I hate to admit it, guys, but there's no reason why this Lions team cannot win 10 or 11 games this season. It's feasible for them.
Any other Thursday night thoughts? John?
I watched the game. I thought with Kelsey out and Chris Jones out, or whatever his name is, thought it would be a good opportunity for Detroit to capitalize on it, which they did. I think Detroit will be a force in the NFC North for sure. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, they were. I thought they could score a few more points, but it was a good game and it was entertaining.
Joffrey.
I'm going to say this much. Detroit definitely has been quietly building dominance over the past few seasons with the way their management has put this team together. other thing that I took away from this is I think the overhype is starting to show with Mahomes. This game with the poor performance that the Chiefs offense showed leads you more to believe that maybe Mahomes isn't so much the linchpin of that offense as Kelsey. Because with Kelsey gone, nothing seemed to be working for them. I was impressed by the touchdown from rookie Rashee Rice.
Me too. Fantasy points.
9.5, baby.
Oh, I got 11.8 in one league.
Must have different scoring.
Yeah. Does anyone else have Rice on their team?
I do not.
Did anyone think Gibbs was going to have more rushing yards than 42?
Yeah, I was hoping so because I do have him as a running back in one of my leagues.
I have Montgomery in one of my leagues, so I was happy with that.
Oh, you're excited. Did you have any catches? No, just all rushes?
No. Yeah, just the rushes.
So you got to do what, 13, 14 points?
Yeah, it was, about 12, 13, somewhere around there.
Nice. Any other thoughts on this Thursday night game?
Yeah, my thought simply is this: how long do the Kansas City Chiefs go without trying to get a at least close to a bona fide number one receiver on that offense that won't drop passes? I mean, Kadarius Toney, for crying out loud! I mean, I didn't know the guy had butterfingers this much. And look, it's one thing if he drops one pass or two passes or three passes, but I mean, he had 4 or 5 drops total, and all came at crucial times in the game. And look, when Kelsey does come back, there's going to be an awful lot of pressure on him to be the number one receiver on that offense. They've got to find a way to get better production and better catches out of their wideouts because, again, like what you guys alluded to earlier, Pat Mahomes, he's an outstanding quarterback, but he's only as good as the players around him. And if he doesn't have receivers that can catch that football, it's going to be a long season at KD. Stoke up the barbecues, guys. Start the grilling because Kansas City needs to do something really quick with that offense.
On what you said about the top tier receivers, one that throws me through a loop, and probably should you as well, given how good he was when he was still wearing green and yellow. But
Marquez Valdez-Scantling,
squat from MVS since he joined the Red.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised that Kansas City hasn't tried to utilize him much in the same way that Green Bay did. I mean, given that Matt LaFleur, given that, Andy Reid, Matt LaFleur, similar coaching styles to an extent. And yeah, MVS would be the perfect guy to help stretch that field a little bit more and use him more as a downfield threat. Heck, they could even use him up the middle if they wanted to. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised as well, Joffrey, that it seems like he's just been phased out, week to week to week, going back to the last few weeks of last season. So I hope that they find a way to get more plays in the book for him.
I was surprised Skylar Moore was so quiet.
Yeah, right. But hey,
John, the next game on the list is the game you were at. So if you want to break it down all the way as far as you want, you can. I'm pretty sure you were damn excited watching Joe Burrow suck ass, and let's hear about it.
Yeah, I got to the parking lot around 8 a.m. and started my own little barbecue. But went to the game. It was weird. It only rained in all of Cleveland over the stadium the whole day, so it was just one giant cloud over the stadium with constant mist, which made, I think, part of the reason why both Watson and Burrow didn't have their best day. It's just a weird thing with the Browns and the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals are a good team, but the Browns just seem to have their number, almost every time they play. They've won, I think, 5 out of the last 6 against Cincinnati, and I think it's 9 out of the last 11. So it's just some with the line matchups. The whole game was completely dominated by the Browns defense, more or less, and Nick Chubb running the ball. I mean, Burrow got hit, almost every play, and I think he was sacked 2 or 3 times, but think he was hit 14 times. He only had 82 yards of, completions or whatever, passing yards. So it was just a dominated game. And, the Browns actually turned the ball over 2 times and Cincinnati 0, and they still won by 21 points.
How good did it feel?
It felt great. For once in my life, I got to go to a home opener and they won. So actually second time in my life, but actually maybe third. I might have went to one in the old stadium, but either way, since '99, the second time I've got to see a Browns home opener where they've won, and felt great just because the Cincinnati players were talking a lot throughout the week, and it was just a good feeling to shut them up a little bit.
Did you expect more out of Watson, or did he do enough in week 1 for you? I know he got the win, and that's the bottom. That's really all that counts. Numbers don't mean shit, but did you expect more?
I was hoping for more. Yeah, I was definitely hoping for more. They definitely started the game trying to open it up. The weather report literally said it was going to rain 8 to 9. Both teams were not expecting it to be that wet the whole time, and the Browns, halfway through the first quarter, early on to the second, they changed their plan and just said we could dominate them with our lines. So they just kind of focused more on running. And Watson did a lot with his legs. He scored a touchdown on a audible 9-yard QB draw, sweep, whatever you want to call it, on the weak side. So he did a lot with his legs. The passing was just not good. The interception he threw was not a great pass. I guess it got deflected a little bit, but it just didn't look good. So, it's still a mystery over here. We got 7 games, and we're trying to figure out what we have at quarterback. But it's just kind of weird. Every game he's played in Cleveland, it's been awful weather. So he's never played here. Even the preseason game in August, it rained. So I don't know. Maybe Monday night in Pittsburgh will be a little bit better weather, and maybe we'll see some more passes.
Are you coming down for the game?
Probably not, but never say never.
Right. Well, let me know.
It's only 2
Jason,
hours.
Joffrey, Elijah Moore for only 43 yards. Did you expect that or more?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Joffrey. I'm sorry.
The only question I have is how many balls did he drop?
I don't know. It just said 3 for 43, 14.3 yards per catch.
I don't think he dropped any balls that I remember, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting a little bit more out of Elijah Moore too, and maybe they're just trying to slowly bring him into the offense a lot more. I was extremely happy because I had Nick Chubb as my starting running back in my fantasy league this week. So yeah, thanks Nick Chubb for getting me those points. I really appreciate it. But this was definitely a statement win by the Browns. And as much as it was a statement win by Cleveland, because of course we all know about all the media hype around Deshaun Watson's off the field problems. We know that obviously the Browns have been, with all due respect, my friend, they've been lackluster for a long time. And they've had to fend off a lot of that negative publicity. This was a statement win by Cleveland. This was Cleveland saying, this is not your grandfather's Browns anymore. So these are not the same Cleveland Browns that you've seen over the last 15, 20 years. Now, granted, we still have 17 games left to play in the regular season. But the point being, Cleveland did what Detroit did on Thursday night. They went out and they made a statement and they made it big. As for the Bengals, holy crap. You talk about a team that just rolled over and used Joe Burrow's injury as an excuse. Are you effing kidding me? I mean, look, we all know the Bengals are better than that. But, I mean, and look, either Cleveland is really that good or Cincinnati is really that bad. I mean, take your pick. But Burrow, it felt like that whole team just rolled over and Zach Taylor and those boys just packed it in. So it's impressive a win as it was by Cleveland. I was a little bit more disappointed in Cincinnati. feeling like Zach Taylor just rung up the white flag about halfway into the second quarter and said, F it, let's just let these guys get their win and enjoy their moment.
They packed it in with about 10 minutes left.
Oh, I stand corrected. Thank you.
Yep. But that's, like I said earlier, it's kind of almost been majority of the matchups with the Browns.
Yeah.
The Bengals O-line can't stop Myles Garrett. And this year the Browns have improved their D-line with some more talent. So I don't know. It seems to be a matchup with the Bengals. Now it's just to see, like you said, 17 more weeks, see if you could do it against some other good teams.
Listen, I'm from the division. I wanted a tie. Any more thoughts on this game?
This is not one of the 5 that I got to actually watch, so I'm going to just pass on this one.
Well, for the first time ever in our next game, I thought we were going to have Matt here tonight, but I don't know where he is. He said he was going to check in for this. But anyway, first time ever in the NFL, a game finished at 25-9. I didn't know if you guys were aware of that or not, between the Texans and the Ravens. No Mark Andrews. They still put up 25 points. CJ Stroud had a decent day. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but threw for 242 against a pretty good Ravens defense. I don't know if that impressed anyone or not. I know John's an Ohio State fan, so I don't know if that impressed you or not.
I was again, I was at the game, so I didn't get to see this game, but I was keeping my eye on it, like on the scoreboard. And it seemed, if I remember correctly, it was pretty close at halftime. I thought it was like 10-9 or something. And I'm like, wow, maybe Houston's got a chance.
7-6 Baltimore at half, John.
Okay, yeah, 7-6. I said maybe Houston's got a chance here. And then I came home and I looked at the stats, and I was impressed that, considering the preseason he had, at least the numbers look good for sure.
Melissa, we'll chat. Hit me up. We'll chat. I was gonna bring in your comments whenever we got to the Steeler game, but I see you got to go. But we will chat. All right, John, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Stroud, at least from the stat wise, again, I haven't seen the game, so it looked decent. 242. He didn't throw any interceptions compared to what he did in the preseason. It looked better. He did get sacked 5 times, and his QBR rating is 21.2. So I guess it wasn't that great, but I don't know. He did more than Lamar did.
Well, 28 for 44. So you figure those almost half of the passes were missed, so it's going to be under.
Right. That's
a lot of throws for a rookie. I feel that's a lot of throws in opening day for a rookie.
Yeah, I guess they started going down pretty big in the third quarter, and they probably threw it all second half. But in terms of Baltimore, Lamar didn't really do much. He ran it for 38 yards. He only threw it for 169, and he had a 13.6 rating. And they lost Dobbins. That's a huge loss, and that's I think the 4th straight year that Dobbins has done nothing for the Ravens. So, Achilles, his career might be done. So, I don't know. I don't see anything impressive in this game. Odell only had 2 catches. Zay Flowers
was the man. 9 receptions, 78 yards. Not breaking 100, but he had 9 receptions, which is great for a rookie debut.
Right, and Mark Andrews was out for this game, so
a lot of people were on waiver wire Sunday morning. Anyone else on waiver wire Sunday morning looking for that tight end?
Well, I'm a commissioner in one of my leagues, and I got a text at like 11:58. Hey, or 12:58. Hey, can you get someone in? I'm like, nah, man. I'm at the Browns game. Can't do it.
I know for me, given that it's Houston, who has been one of the bigger laughingstocks in the league, I got to say, given that Baltimore was missing their biggest star player in Mark Andrews, as well as their second string running back with J.K. Dobbins going out early with that injury, and I'm surprised not one of you just said a question me on that one, but okay. It is impressive that Baltimore was able to pull it together and still get the victory.
Yeah.
Jay, any thoughts?
Yeah, I actually was impressed with CJ Stroud. I know you look at the box score and you say, well, okay, not too great, but not too bad either. But, given that this whole team seems like they're dedicating themselves to building around CJ Stroud, I actually like the fact that they made him the focal point of the offense right away just to see what they have in him. There were some moments in the game where he overthrew some passes, underthrew some passes, and clearly you could tell, obviously, the rookie, the learning curve being there and everything else. But overall, the athleticism is there. The throwing arm, not too bad. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I just clicked on something a bit.
Oh, no, that's all right. So, yeah, I was fairly impressed with what he did. And I thought the most important thing was that he didn't try to do too much. I mean, there were a couple times in the game where he tried to get all glory hound there. But overall, I felt he had a pretty good grasp of the offense given how long he's had to work with it in the preseason. And then as for the Ravens, losing J.K. Dobbins, that's going to be a huge injury for them. Lamar's Lamar. He can be a flash in the pan sometimes. Other times he can't. I think the Ravens lost another key player to injury too. Wasn't it Humphrey they lost or somebody else, Adam?
I know Dobbins was the bigger loss. I don't think they lost anyone else.
Okay. I could have swore they lost one of their key defensive players.
I think they lost 4 players, actually. Come to think of it.
I want to say Humphrey was one of them, but I might be wrong.
Well, let's look real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. And while we're doing that, I just want to know. Well, I mean, all right.
Humphreys was hurt. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, he's one of their best defensive players, and losing him is going to be really big for the defense.
Wasn't he hurt a little bit in the practice too, or in the preseason?
Yeah, I think he missed. I think he only played in like 1 or 2 games in the preseason. Had a quad problem or a hamstring problem or something. I don't remember what injury, but yeah, he didn't play a lot of snaps in preseason.
Yeah, this one's a foot. So
Ronnie Stanley, offensive tackle, did not practice. Tyler Lindenbaum, ankle, did not practice today. Humphrey, and then Mark Andrews.
There you go.
Andrews was limited, and Humphrey did not practice.
Okay. So yeah, those injuries obviously are going to hurt the Ravens a lot, and it is what it is.
Next game, I thought was going to be a total blowout, ended up being a total upset. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield throwing 2 touchdowns, beating the Vikings. I'm sure Jay was jumping for joy on this one as well, seeing the in-division team lose. Phoenix, what are you doing?
Yes, I was, and I'd like to go first on this one, please, because Captain Kirk Cousins needs to be demoted to ensign. All right, I have never been high on Kirk Cousins, even when he was in Washington. This guy was always bitching and ragging and complaining about being paid like a top-tier quarterback. But yet, when you look at Cousins, he's one of those guys. He's like a Jeff Hostetler. He's like a Phil Simms. He's a guy who's going to keep you in the game, but he's not going to. And look, and I know Phil Simms won a Super Bowl. All right, so but still, the point being with him is that Cousins to me is if Cousins hasn't reached above that elite status by now, it's never going to happen. And again, he's good enough to keep the Vikings in games, but he just can't take them to that next level. He can't get over that hump. And look, Justin Jefferson made a good point for getting his contract extension. He is one of the most exciting offensive young players in the game. I think he had, Adam, like 6 catches for 140 or 130 yards or something?
9 for 150.
9 for 150. Thank you. So Jefferson is great. He's young, elite, and he's up and coming. But as for Tampa Bay, yeah, that was a statement win because, look, Brady retired. They've that ship has sailed, and Baker Mayfield is looking for a little bit of redemption here, and at least through one game, he found it. So, yeah, I was glad that Tampa whooped all hell out of Minnesota, and I hope the Vikings finish 0-17 or 0-18 this year, because believe me, you're not seeing a single tear run down this cheek for the Vikings right now.
No, Joffrey, I gotta say, I gotta put something right here because my trophy was right there, and I need to refill it. I just noticed how empty it looks.
You mean the trophy that's half yours?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I kept it all off season, so it was mine technically.
Yeah, the other co-champion has it during the regular season, and then at some point, I'm gonna have to make a trip home from this next job to get it to the rightful next champion.
Right. Anyway, on this game, Rashard White. Anyone surprised he only had 39 yards? I know this isn't a fun game to talk about, but it was an upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really watch much of this game, so.
How could you? You were at the game. Falcons, Panthers. Anyone expect anything else other than a Falcons win?
Nope. No. I think Bryce Young is going to have a tougher rookie season than C.J. Stroud will. Carolina, they don't really have a lot there. They have one, maybe two good players on offense that are exciting, but beyond that, yeah, it's going to be tough for Carolina. And, yeah, I wasn't expecting much out of this game either, Adam.
Did anyone think Robinson was going to have a better day than 56 yards?
He had a lot of receiving yards, didn't he?
6 catches, 27, and a touch.
Maybe I'm thinking.
So he did find the end zone. He did find the end zone, so I guess that's good. Other than that, it was a very Drake London biggest disappointment. 0 for 0. Crazy.
Yep. I will say this about the Falcons. Adam, I've told you on a couple of times that I've felt that the Falcons have something there to build on and that they could be a surprising team. And with Kyle Pitts and I think they added Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys. They also obviously Desmond Ridder.
No, Dalton Schultz went to the Texans.
Oh, Schultz. I'm sorry. That's right. He went to the Texans. My bad. Well, the point being is that with Pitts and with Ridder there, the Falcons have some exciting young players on the offensive side of the football. I don't know if they're going to be a contender, but I think they're going to come up and surprise some teams. They're going to be a tough win. They're not going to be a team that you can just X out on the calendar every other Sunday. They're going to play tough.
Any other thoughts on this game? Joffrey, you were quiet during this one. Did you even catch anything on it? No?
Falcons game? Nope. Yeah, I'm only here to pipe up for like 5 games, and that's it. So some
That's
of it I'm
fine.
just going to be zoned
That's
out.
fine. I watched absolutely 0 unless I was delivering and there was something on the screen other than the Steeler game. So I was working, obviously. I did keep up with the scores, but it wasn't the same as actually sitting there watching it. Everyone knows watching the game, you see things, you get a chance to digest a little bit, make it a little bit better. I thought for sure this next game the Commanders would have blown out the Arizona Cardinals. I was wrong. I expected Sam Howell to have an absolutely huge game in this one, but he only threw for 202, a touch and an interception. It wasn't that good of a day for him. Does anyone else feel that? Josh Dobbs, I mean, he has got connections in Cleveland and Pittsburgh, so we know what he's capable of. I didn't think it was very much, but obviously he's starting in Arizona now, so they must see something. I never saw anything.
God damn.
I mean, I don't know. Washington's. I don't know. They are
Why
what
is
they
your
are.
dog such a slut?
He's not. Anyway, the mascot is good. Go ahead, John. What were you saying, bud?
No, I mean Washington is what they are. I don't know if they're going to be blowing out too many people this year. Even Arizona.
Yeah, I didn't watch this game either. I kept track of the score, but Washington, they're not a lot there. And yeah, Eric Bieniemy is their new offensive coordinator, but it's gonna. I don't think Bieniemy has nearly the weapons in place there on offense that he had in Kansas City to make them prolific enough. And their quarterback, Howell, I mean, yeah, he's decent, but yeah, I thought he was going to have a better day too against Arizona, and I really thought, Arizona, it just seems like they're ready to submit their first pick in the draft in April right now. But game was a little bit closer than what I thought. So Commanders, if they pull out 5 or 6 wins out of the victory bag, consider that a successful season.
All right. Next game. I was curious to see how this quarterback was going to do. Another rookie starter this year, Anthony Richardson. What didn't have a bad game, 223, a touch and a interception. He did also run one in. I thought he had a good game as a rookie. I thought he was slid like O'Neal Cruz and shattered his whole leg on that final play, but obviously they say he's going to be okay. Any thoughts on this game? It was closer than a lot of people thought after Jonathan Taylor getting rolled out and everything else. No running back. All they have is Michael Pittman and Anthony Richardson, really. Any thoughts? Don't all jump at once.
Sorry. No real thoughts. Just that with Richardson, he had a good debut, like you said, Adam. Let's see how he can do over the course of a long season. He definitely has the talent. You can see the goods are there with the arm strength and the athleticism. And, Shane Steichen, their first-year head coach, will be able to see if he can implement any of the schemes that he had in Philadelphia here in Indy. But, I really wasn't doing cartwheels over this game.
What about Calvin Ridley?
Ridley, I think has I think he's going to be playing with an attitude this year. He missed all of last season because of the gambling allegations that were levied against him. And he's out to prove a point that he can still play the game, that he's still a big-time playmaker the way he was in Atlanta. And I think I'm expecting a big season out of him. Maybe, not big, but I still think he could be capable of 1,000 yards, 70, 80 catches if they can keep him healthy, keep him oriented in the offense. And, of course, all that depends on how the quarterback does too. But, yeah, I think Ridley could be in for a big comeback season.
John, you got a smirk. What do you think?
I thought that game was kind of what I expected it to be. I thought Ridley would be a good fantasy play. And I thought maybe Jacksonville would win by a little bit more, but I don't know. That's about it. Again, it was another game I didn't get to see much, but it looked like, Jacksonville kind of left, started off where they left off last year. And NTN had a nice day. Ridley looks like he's going to be a good addition. And, it's not a great division down there, so it shouldn't be too tough for him.
Joffrey's are getting murdered by my dog right now. Any thoughts?
No, I don't think I'm getting murdered. I think she's trying to seduce me. Go away! Yes, I will agree with what John said. Calvin Ridley was a phenomenal piece to leave on my bench.
You left him on your bench?
Yeah, I had other receivers that I thought were going to do better. I will say the Colts do seem to be finding some little bit of flash with the new quarterback situation. I didn't realize y'all completely breezed past Arizona, Washington, though, because of the rookie quarterbacks that are stepping up and doing impressive. Washington is the one situation where I honestly, you cannot convince me that the rookie is the one that should be starting.
Sam Howell was here last year, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe
he was.
on the bench.
He was benched. Yeah, right, Rich. Right.
Well, comparing the talent level of the two quarterbacks that are sitting in Washington, I think House probably should be the one that's still on the bench. Because, Jacoby Brissett, look at what he – if I'm not mistaken, John, you're a Cleveland guy, right?
Yeah, Jacoby did pretty good last year.
Looking at the Browns season last year, Brissett had them in a position where they were trending towards playoffs. It wasn't until they benched him in favor of Deshaun, which I understand because you sold the farm to buy a cow, but like Jacoby should not be a bench rider. He should not be a backup. He should be a starter in the league.
He's a serviceable quarterback. I think Washington wants the younger guy and see what they got out of him. That's probably what they're doing.
Well, I for one am hoping that, to an extent, that maybe I'll get my wish after the fact. Because Adam, you know, with the Jets situation, the quarterback I wanted from the get-go.
Well, they're trying to make a move for him.
If we do the whole Aaron Rodgers as a glorified quarterbacks coach after his Achilles and still end up with Jacoby Brissett, I will be ecstatic.
They're in talks right now, apparently, Joe. I don't know if you saw that.
Dear God, let it happen.
And the next game, Tomlin didn't have his team ready to go again.
Yes,
30-7 major blowout. Brock Purdy elbow, no problem at all. They forgot about Brandon Ayuk in the game scheme, the defense. They forgot about that guy. They were worried about Kittle and Debo and
Samuel.
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
McCaffrey still had 156 yards, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, the Steelers just had no fucking answer. I said Brandon Ayuk was going to be the game player of the week on a podcast last week with Mark of 49ers Camelot. And he looked at me kind of like, maybe. Brock Purdy loves around Brandon Ayuk. Anyway, my team got blown out, and I picked them to lose. So I don't know. I'm upset. I'm like disappointed, but I'm not because I picked them to lose. It's one of their losses I have of the year. So am I 1-0 or 0-1? Any other good thoughts on this game, guys? I know maybe here's your chance to take shots at me. Obviously, I still have my Steeler girl up in the back, so you take all the shots you want, but I picked them to lose this game, so it really didn't faze me.
My only thoughts on this game are that even just through one game right now, the San Francisco 49ers, and Melissa, I hope you're listening to this because I'm giving props to your boys here. Just through one game, the San Francisco 49ers appear to be the most complete team in the National Football League on offense and on defense. Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, and then Brock Purdy. Looks like he has not missed a beat, even recovering from that Tommy John surgery. And then obviously we don't need to mention the playmakers that they have on defense with guys like Fred Warner. Yeah, with Fred Warner and then all those other beasts they have on the front line. And Christian McCaffrey.
What was that? Friday they signed Bosa. I think it was Friday.
They got Bosa inked finally in the fold on Friday, and so they had him in uniform there in time. So again, the 49ers
that was Thursday, Jason. Sorry, because he was signed whenever I did my show with Mark.
Oh, got it. Okay, no worries. But yeah, and if the Niners can keep Christian McCaffrey healthy, we saw what he was able to do with a small sample size in San Francisco last year. Imagine what he can do throughout the course of an entire season with the 49ers. Like I said, I think right now they are the most complete team in the National Football League. And I don't know who would be a distant second, but I think the Niners are the most complete team in the NFL right now, barring injury.
John?
Yeah, this is another game I did not get to watch totally.
You would have been loving it, wouldn't you?
I would have done anything to watch it, and I might actually rewatch it when the NFL Network shows it. But I did see every highlight that they posted at the Browns game, and it was just like another sack of Joe Burrow. Everyone went crazy every time they flashed a score. So that was very fun.
This game was a highlight reel in Cleveland during the game.
Yes, pretty much. Every time out.
That's awesome.
So I got some enjoyment out of it, but I don't want to talk too much as we're playing each other on Monday. So we'll see what happens.
When are you getting your
Big
Kenny
game.
Pickett jersey, Adam?
I don't know. I could get one though. I could
Why
probably
would
get.
he?
I could probably actually get it tomorrow if I really wanted it.
You do it. Get a Kenny Pickett jersey. I dare you.
I think
Why
my
would
next
you wait?
jersey is gonna be Rod Woodson though.
Nice.
I think. I got my dad the Army jersey a couple years ago for Christmas, but I think I just want the black and gold one, just the normal. It might be a starter. Hopefully, it's a starter one. That'd be awesome for the 92, 93 season with Rod Woodson. I think we had starter jerseys back then.
Yep.
So hopefully it comes as a starter jersey. Joffrey, you didn't get a chance to rub it in my face. Go for it right now.
I've been waiting for this.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to apologize in advance because I might somewhat piss you off as well with this.
Okay.
But I've been saying from the get-go, looking at Pittsburgh's team, there's been so much overhype from the fan base. You've only got one real receiving threat in George Pickens. Freiermuth, I'm surprised he got that touchdown because generally he couldn't catch a cold. Deontay Johnson, breaking it down, is maybe a fringe top 20 running back in the league.
He's out now. He's already rolled out. He's already rolled out for Monday night.
Even more screwed for you guys. Your defense, your run defense is solid. Your
We
passing
lost Cam.
defense
We
has
lost
way too
Cam
many
Hayward.
holes.
I'm not sure what's going on with Cam Hayward. I didn't see any news today.
He's getting groin surgery.
So he's-
Jason, I loved your shout out here because I've been telling you from the moment he got drafted, Adam, Kenny Pickett is not your answer. He is not a championship winning quarterback.
You're
That
welcome.
said, I'm standing by what I said from the get-go with my breakdown of the Steelers.
I'm glad we got Kenny Pickett instead of Malik Willis.
Either way, I'm saying Pittsburgh is definitely trending towards third place in the division. And I hate to say it, John,
you're
but the only
saying
team
we're
I
gonna
see
finish
Pittsburgh beating in
above
the
a
final
team.
standings is Cleveland.
Notice. Wow.
That's nothing new.
Now, breaking this game aside, breaking this game down,
WTF, buddy. WTF.
all I'm going to say is without getting injured during the game, if you think about it, BCB is still undefeated. In case you're
In
wondering what that
regular- in the regular
I'm saying
season,
it right
and-
now, Big Cock Brock. And I actually, I'm going to just more so than diving into the game because I think you guys already covered it. Fun aside, I'm surprised I didn't get a complaint against me because I'm not going to say which hotel, but I work at a hotel. And over this past weekend leading into this game, we had a high-profile guest. Jeff Reed, former kicker for the Steelers, had brought his significant other, I think she was, because she'd never been to a game before.
So here's a funny story about Jeff Reed. Jeff Reed used to hang out with the husband that lived in this house.
What? That's kind of creepy.
Anyways,
He used to give tickets to my neighbor and shit, so he loved it. She didn't, but he did.
anyway,
Anyway, that was my story tied to Jeff Reed. I mean, there's all kind of Steelers shit in my basement left. She's like, I don't want it, just keep it. And I was like, all right, fuck.
do you have any of his toilet paper or any of his paper towel holders?
Any of the toilet paper rolls from Sheets that he completely destroyed now.
Anyway, so he was staying at my hotel. All right. Had a nice conversation with him Friday morning. Told him, look, because I don't think most people recognized who the hell he was at this point, but I'm like, I just caught him aside. And I'm like, dude, by the way, I miss seeing you play. He's like, yeah, man, I miss it too. I said, given the timing and the length of your stay, I'm assuming you're here for the game on Sunday. He's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be Pittsburgh starting off with a big win. I'm like, I just looked at him. He's like, what? I'm like, looking at the talent the Niners have and the fact that they should have been in the Super Bowl had it not been for Purdy injuring his elbow, you know they're going to be coming with a chip on their shoulder. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. He's like, he even looked at me and said, "Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. I'm probably walking into an L." Yeah, you called it.
All
All
right.
right, I'm done gloating. Go ahead.
Classic Jeff Reed.
Oh, wait, I do have one more thing to mention. Sorry. I don't know if any of you caught this glib on social media, but it's pretty bad when a team's offense is so bad in the game that the other team's offensive tackle
Oh, Trent Williams.
goes on media or goes up and says, "Yeah, you know, I was getting tired. I was really hoping they'd get something together because it was painful." Thank you, Trent Williams, because that's going to live in my memory.
Yeah, that was bad. Like that was just awful. Any other thoughts on this glorious Steeler game of getting blown the fuck out?
You might hate
No.
the Steelers more than I do.
Move on.
Me?
On to the
Yeah,
next.
you.
Born and raised in Pittsburgh, too.
I know that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Bring Charlie back out of retirement.
See, I actually like Charlie.
Charlie's a great guy, man. He's cool to meet. He's real talkable, real sociable. Anyway, I'm not getting into the story, but me and Charlie, we talked for a while. Anyway, anyone else want to gloat? Anyone else want to rip the Steelers down? I'm not getting into a Tomlin rant. I have a Tomlin fan down there. I understand why the whole NFL loves Tomlin. They know they're not going to win a Super Bowl with them. The Steelers aren't going to win a Super Bowl with them. So why wouldn't everyone in the NFL love this guy? All they know is he's going to be 500 football and be happy with it. Pathetic. Anyway, new appearances. Yeah, grab me one too. It's kind of nice having someone in your house. You know, you're like, hey, I need a drink. All right, cool. Grab one. Let's go. Anyway, next game on the budget. Tennessee, New Orleans, way closer than expected, I thought. Derek Carr did have 300 yards, though. Very impressive. I think he might have been second highest on the slate behind a guy we're going to talk about that played in your area, Jay, close to your area anyway, in that LA game.
Yeah. I've kind of felt that this could be a sneaky under the radar season for Derek Carr. He obviously, we know that he kind of got run out of Las Vegas for questionable reasons. The talent that he has around him in New Orleans is decent. He can work with, but when I was watching snippets of that game, I saw a more confident Derek Carr than I ever saw with him at any point last season with the Raiders. It just seemed like he had more confidence in the offense. You can clearly tell that he still has the talent. He can still throw the football. And, the Saints, I mean, look, Saints could be a sneaky good team. They do have some skill players there that Carr can rely on. And I'm sorry?
They should win the South.
Yeah, they should win the South, barring any mishap or whatever. They should win the South. And I'll be rooting for
Kamara. Even without Kamara, this team should win the South.
Yeah, with Kamara, be a lot better. Gotcha. But without Kamara, they're still good enough to win the South. And they still have some key playmakers on defense. I think Cam Jordan is still a top-flight defensive player on defense. So, New Orleans they're going to be a tough football team to beat this season. I like what Derek Carr is doing so far. He loves Cajun cooking so far, guys.
He loves Chris Olave too. Any other thoughts on this game, guys?
You mean Olave?
Olave, yeah. Sorry. What did I say, Olave?
That just made my brain hurt. What?
It's Olave. Olave.
Any other thoughts on this game, guys? No.
Nah.
On to the next.
Good?
Yep.
We'll go from Derek Carr's old team to, new team to old team. And this was an upset, I thought, of the day. But it is Denver, and we saw that they suck ass. Even with Sean Payton, they still have that quarterback that hasn't proved shit. Unfortunately, when you say Russell Wilson, the only thing you really remember is why didn't we run the ball?
See, when I think Russell Wilson, the only thing I think of is how hot his wife is. But
any good thoughts on this game at all besides the Raiders pulling? I called it an upset, but
Yeah, how the hell was it? Jimmy Garoppolo, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 200 yards in this game. How the hell was it a 17-16 victory by the Raiders? I mean, or if that's what the final score was. I'm just
2 touchdowns too.
Yeah, it's like Garoppolo pisses me off. He really does. Because he goes out.
Was him and Jacoby Myers, were they teammates in New England at one time or no?
They were. I think they were just for one season, but I think they were.
All of a sudden, back with Josh McDaniels.
Well, I'm still not sold on Josh McDaniels. I think he's still one of the most, if not the most overrated coaches.
He's got his former team.
Adam, that's fine. He has his former team. Great. Let's all do jumping jacks for him and let's all cheer his praises. I still think he's a fucking overrated head coach. He's one of the most overrated head coaches in the National Football League, in my opinion. The Raiders.
I mean, he might have had a lot of pressure going into this game too, going against one of his former actual teams that he coached as well.
Well, that might be. But until Josh McDaniels wins 11, 12 games and wins a playoff game and wins a Super Bowl, I'm still going to say he's an overrated head coach. I still don't like him as an in-game caller. I don't like him as an in-game manager. And you don't know when the guy's going to wuss out in crucial moments of the game as a coach. I'm sorry. He's still overrated in my book. The Raiders in my book also. I love Devontae Adams because he's from my alum, Fresno State. Go Dogs. # Bulldog born, Bulldog bred. So I'll be rooting for Devontae. Still arguably the best receiver in the game. But beyond that, Raiders, 5, maybe 6 wins at best. And I hate McDaniels, and Jimmy pisses me off.
wow, I think this guy hates Oakland as much as I hate Pittsburgh.
If we had any Niners fans on the show, they'd be in the same boat with Jason.
Melissa would agree with me. Melissa, you'd agree with me.
Gina would agree with you too, probably.
Right?
We almost had Gina almost came on tonight.
So you got to get Gina back on.
Be still my bleeding heart. I guess we've kissed and made up, back on good terms.
Yeah, we've been on good terms ever since.
Oh, okay, cool. Now,
any good thoughts on this game? Besides,
I like
it was
the
a close
Raiders.
game.
I like McDaniels. McDaniels is from Canton McKinley over here in Ohio, and I love McDaniels, and I love Jimmy Garoppolo because he's Italian.
John's just really trying to twist that barb on Jason, isn't he?
That's a spicy meatball.
He does great Subway commercials.
I'm just going to give a quick breakdown on my thoughts on the Raiders because I'm actually very in line with what you said to an extent, Jason. Going from Derek Carr to Garoppolo, even though most of Oakland thinks it's the greatest thing ever, was a serious downgrade.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I've always said that Garoppolo has succeeded because of the coaching and the team that he had to work with in San Fran.
Yep.
And Derek Carr has succeeded in spite of the coaching and teams he's had down in Oakland. Vegas.
The only benefit Jimmy Garoppolo brings to Las Vegas is that he's going to keep the gentlemen's clubs like Cheetahs and Hooters open 24 hours a day, which they are anyway, but he's going to benefit from all of that.
That said, I also agree about McDaniels. I'm not saying that he's as overrated as you're saying he is or whatever, but I'm going to say from the get-go, he should have never been fucking hired. That job should have been Richie Bisaccia's.
Yep, agreed. And for a guy who's a so-called, who the media refers to as a self-proclaimed genius, as Josh McDaniels is, look, as an offensive coordinator, he's very good, but he's not a genius. As a head coach, he sucks. So I don't want to hear any more talk about McDaniels being an effing genius. All right. Doctors who find cures for cancer are geniuses. Rocket scientists are geniuses. Josh McDaniels is not a genius. All right. He's a head coach, nothing more.
I never thought this game would bring out so much passion.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, John. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, when are we getting this Packers game?
Let's go on to the other side of the coin real quick, though, because I do have one thing to say about Denver as well.
Sure.
Apparently, freaking even the great Sean Payton can't fix a dud.
But he still knows how to wear the
I now understand how a national anthem singer sounds and feels. How they say, like, you hear it and then you don't hear it for like a second around the stadium. Like, I hear Joffrey talking like regular, and then it shows up on my screen. But anyway, we ready to move on and go to the next game where Josh McDaniels used to be.
Yes, please.
So 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Sounds like great Jalen Hurts numbers, but it wasn't. It was Mac Jones numbers. That surprised the shit out of me. But they still lost. I mean, Slay had that big interception return. Great debut, right? This was his debut with the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was a nice interception. I did see that. That was on in the shop, so I did get to see that. And they're like, "Is that Darius Slay?" I was like, "Yes." So I did get to see that. That was a really nice interception, and I was excited because I am not a New England guy at all.
Nope. Well, and you talk about big debuts. Ezekiel Elliott had that wonderful coughed up fumble there. I think that was in the second quarter or the third quarter. And that was a big offensive drive that New England had going, and he just lost the ball. So not a good debut there for Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe it gets better for him. Who knows? But my question is this. How long is
going to be what? Belichick's going to be himself and bench Zeke because he fumbled like he does with all his other running backs?
Only if Zeke can't hold on to the ball for the next 2 or 3 games. I do think his patience level with Zeke Elliott is really small. And if he can't find a better way to protect the football, he's going to be riding the pine for a while. But I'm actually curious as to how long Belichick sticks with Mac Jones because, like you said, Adam, he threw for 300 yards and still lost the game. I mean, under normal circumstances, that's a pretty darn good day for any quarterback, win or lose. And we know that.
Didn't he get rid of all the backups? Didn't Belichick get rid of all the backups?
Yeah, he did. But look, I mean, we know that's not going to prevent Bill Belichick and anybody else there in New England from at least trying to look for anybody else. And from what I last heard, Mac Jones and Belichick had a very low patience tolerance for each other. So, but yeah, I mean, you're right, Adam. Mac is really the only legit guy they have there. They don't have a serviceable backup behind him. So he'll probably stay a Patriot for the rest of the year.
They got rid of Zippity Doodah.
Zappy?
Brian Zappy?
Zappy?
I'll be back.
Bailey Zappy, baby.
Yeah, it's Zappy.
Yeah, not much.
I just don't know. Like, I'm not expecting much from New England. I'm not. All right. Well, Jay, it looks like it's made you here. John took a step out for a minute. Joffrey's letting people see my kitchen, and it looks like I really got to look. And just to let everyone know, those are literally in all those boxes. Those are all dugout mugs. I just haven't had a place to put them.
Recycling bin.
No, fuck you. No, they all got the shot glasses with them. No, they're not going in a damn recycling bin.
Oh, I thought. All right. Can we get to this Packers game? I want to see Jason go nuts.
Look, we got 2 games before we get there. Should we just go there now?
Well, what's the other game? What other games?
We still have Rams, Seahawks, and Dolphins, Chargers.
Really did not.
Nobody watched that game.
Oh, we got to talk Dolphins, Chargers.
Dolphins Chargers, that was a good game. That was probably the game of the day.
That was the best game of the day. That was the best game of the day. And let me tell you, man. Well, look, Miami Dolphins. Tua.
On the bench.
You had Tua on the bench?
I thought Derek Carr was gonna have a better day against the fucking Titans.
Oh,
I did have.
Is that it, or are you just waiting for him to get that one last hit to put him in freaking into an iron lung?
Well, still threw for 305 yards. I was happy, and then all of a sudden, Tua throws for 466.
Yep. Well, and then Tyreek Hill had 11 catches for 210 yards.
215 and a touch, 2 touches.
Yep.
I don't know. Tariq Hill killed me in my dynasty league. I'll tell you that much. Like I did solid, but my opponent had freaking Tariq Hill and TJ Watt, who both put up damn near 50 points.
Yeah, we do. We have a dynasty league, and we drafted IDP wise for defensive players.
Okay.
So it makes a whole new ball game to dynasty football.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, I thought that this was like a really good game. I mean, it came down to the wire for sure.
Yeah, it came down to the wire for sure. And Miami just showed how talented of a football team they really are. And I never thought I would ever hear myself say that about the Dolphins, because I have not been a fan of that team since I grew up rooting for Dan Marino. But when you look at what they are capable of doing on offense, obviously it all hinges on Tua. If Tua can't stay healthy and can't do what he did last weekend, it's not going to amount to a hill of beans for the Dolphins. They just aren't that same team without Tua in there. And he definitely proved something. He proved to everybody that when he's healthy, he can go out there and he can win. And that Dolphins team, like I said, guys, if they're healthy, they're going to be a very, very fun and very dangerous team to watch every Sunday. As far as the Chargers are concerned, holy hell, man. Where do you begin with the Chargers? The Chargers are the Chargers. It's like I'm sick and tired of hearing everybody toot their horns. I'm no longer buying the Chargers.
Damn division.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, you heard me.
Okay, maybe I did, and I'm just in denial. I don't know. But at any rate.
Yeah, you heard me.
Yeah, all right. And I wish I hadn't. God damn you. Anyway. But no, you're right, Adam. I agree. It was the best game of the day. It was the most exciting game of the day. So it was fun. We definitely got our money's worth on it.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts on this crazy ass game?
No, the Chargers are always going to find a way to lose somehow.
Yep.
But they'll find their way to lose to a division title, according to Adam.
I do have one takeaway from this game because I'm impressed, and it actually caused me to not only elevate him from bench to active for week 2, but I'm seeking him out in other leagues. Josh Kelly.
Joshua Kelly. Austin Eckler had a good day, though. 117 and a touch.
Yes, but the fact that your backup puts up damn near as good a numbers as your starter, given the vast difference in number of touches the two have gotten, I don't know how. I don't know of a more dangerous duo.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, but Kareem Hunt ain't doing much.
No,
Kareem Hunt's
he's
not
in
even
the
that.
league.
I'm saying a duo of running backs.
Like a 1-2 puncher.
Yeah, Nick Chubb and Nick Chubb.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Well, I can think of two guys by the name of Aaron Jones and AJ Ellis. That's just me, though. I mean, yeah.
You mean Dylan?
You got the one punch. I don't know about Ellis being the two.
Well, okay, if they're not 1-2 punch, let's call them Thunder and Lightning. Aaron Jones is the Lightning. AJ Ellis is the Thunder, baby. There you go.
AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon, I'm sorry. I said AJ Ellis. He's the former backup catcher for the LA Dodgers. My bad, guys. AJ Dillon.
Yeah, I know, Jay, you're excited right now because you do have a highly anticipated matchup going on. Actually, first pitch might have just got thrown right now.
Nice. I'll keep an eye on that game later. Go Dodgers. Go Blue. Let's go.
Absolutely. But Jay, go ahead. Go nuts. Love it.
Yes. All right. All right, first of all, my expectation going into this game of Jordan Love was realistic. I wasn't expecting him to go out and throw for 400 yards, although he did throw for over 200 yards, which is the next best thing. I wasn't expecting him to go out there and replicate Aaron Rodgers. This is Jordan Love, number 10, not Aaron Rodgers, number 12.
Torn Achilles.
Yep, that's right. We can get into that later. At any rate, you just ruined my mojo there a little bit, Adam. Thanks. Getting back on my train of thought here. That Jordan Love got better progressively as the game went along, and he didn't go south, he went north. And also, Romeo Doubs had that hell of a touchdown grab there in the end zone. I think it was towards the end of the first half or maybe shortly after the second half. But the point being is that I loved what they did. I loved how they opened up the offense. Aaron Jones had that 30 or 40-yard run down the sideline there. He broke free of about 2 or 3 tacklers. And Jordan has the talent. He has the talent to succeed in this league as a quarterback. And I loved it just simply because for the first time, we are finally able to get away from the shadow of Aaron Rodgers. As great as he was for that organization, he's going to be enshrined in the Packers Ring of Honor Hall of Fame sometime soon, no doubt about that, maybe sooner than later. Jordan, this is his show now. Let's see what he can do. I was geeked. And then on the defensive side of the football, they still had a couple of key injuries, but I was really impressed with Rashawn Gary. Rashawn is a very key component on their defense. If they can keep Rashawn Gary healthy for most of the season, they're going to be really tough there in the middle of the field defensively. But yes, I love this game. I was a little bit pissed off and frustrated because I thought, come on, guys, you're playing the Bears. Justin Fields here. Let's go. Eventually, they kicked it into high gear. They did what they had to take care of, and I was excited. Very, very satisfied with that Week 1 victory. Go, Pack, go!
And no Christian Watson as well.
That's right. No Christian Watson as well. And I think he might be out this week too, although I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's
not looking good on the fantasy lineup side either.
No, not at all. So yeah, we'll see what they do this weekend.
I had Musgrave on the bench. I think he's going to be a huge addition to this team.
Yeah, Musgrave will be big. He's going to be real big down the stretch.
What do you have? 2 for 50, I think I saw.
Yeah, 2 for 50 or 55, I think it was.
So that was a nice debut from the Rook.
Yeah, it was. So at least so far in the early going, I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Packers right now. Let's see what they can do from here on out.
John, you got your rant. There it is.
I love it. How's the guy that sat out going to be? I picked him up.
Christian Watson.
Watson, yeah.
Well,
it's a hamstring, ain't it?
It's a hamstring injury, yeah. And assuming that he can, fully heal from that hamstring injury, I mean, hell, he has the ability to be a number 1 legitimate wide receiver in the league. We saw what he did with a small sample size last year, and he has the ability to break away from defenders.
And he took over the middle from Love in that one game and just took it to the house for 45 yards. That was awesome.
Took it for 45 yards. In fact, I think that was the game where Watson had not 10 or 11 catches for over 200 some odd yards. So, yeah, he's a big time game breaking receiver. Got to get him healthy, but yeah, he can be a legitimate number 1 player in this league.
So, John, you picked him up. You'd be able to put him on IR and then sneak another guy in there.
Yeah, I drafted him. I think he's questionable this week, but we'll see what happens. I'll mess with the lineups tomorrow before the Thursday game.
Yeah, that's it. Tomorrow should be a fun game, guys. Should be.
Yeah.
Minnesota and Philadelphia, it should be a good game. Joffrey, any thoughts on this game?
It is funny sitting here listening to the take that was given from the actual Packers fan in this group. Because, Adam, give me a reminder here. When it came to our Dynasty auction draft, who was the quarterback that I took first and was highest on?
Didn't you take Jordan Love as your first quarterback? I just picked him up. He was on a waiver wire.
It is funny having this discussion with an actual Packers fan that's saying he did not expect what we saw from Jordan Love, because I'm going to be honest, as a Jets fan, I'm going to sit here and say what we got from Jordan Love this weekend was exactly what I expected. There is a reason why Green Bay was so eager to push Aaron Rodgers out the door. You don't do that to a surefire Hall of Fame quarterback who's still got gas left in the tank unless you've got something even better lined up.
Well, and not only that, but the Packers before training camp started, the Packers actually signed Jordan Love to a 1-year contract coming off the end of his 5-year rookie deal. So the Packers are giving him an extra year to show them what he can do. So I thought that was a smart contractual move by Green Bay, because obviously if Love goes out there, gets hurt, misses the rest of the season, or completely tanks it, they only have him under contract for another year, and they don't have to worry about being tied to him long term if it doesn't work out. I'm not saying it will, but I'm just saying they made a smart move in signing him to just a 1-year deal coming off the end of his rookie contract.
So wait a minute. So we're on year 4 now. They had already picked up his 5th-year option, and now they've already extended a year?
By an additional year.
What?
Yep.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they did. Right before it was actually before the draft, I think, is when they did it, if I'm not too much mistaken. So it was back in April or May.
Yeah, I remember that.
The other thing I will say, I do want to say on this is, not only did Love step up and show the promise that I've seen in him, that Packers management has seen in him, that apparently Packers fans haven't seen in him, but Justin Fields, bit of a letdown. Knowing that he was hyped as, if I'm not mistaken, pre-draft cheat sheets ranked as the number 4 or 5 quarterback to go after in your drafts.
Yep.
Did not show it this week. I want to know what happened to his legs, because he's known for being a dual threat, take off the pocket, breaks down quarterback, and he kind of seemed pretty statutory, didn't he?
Yeah, he did just a little bit. My feeling on Justin Fields has always been this. I've never seen it in him as a quarterback. With the way he can run, I felt that the Bears at least should entertain the offer of switching positions up on him. Turn him into a running back, turn him into a wide receiver. Hell, turn him into a freaking tight end, for all I care.
Cordell Stewart.
There you go.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. I mean, I think Fields is more effective as a runner in the open field than he is snapping the ball behind center. And I just don't see it as a quarterback. I don't know what the Bears think they're going to be able to get out of this guy. But, hey, that's why the Bears are the Bears.
All right.
So did ownership transfer from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love with the whole "I still own you" with the Bears thing? Because it seems like it.
It kind of feels like it. I'm not sure if it was expressed that way, but yeah, it feels like it.
Does anyone give a shit about the Sunday night game?
No.
Besides Blowout City, New York forgot to show up. It was ugly game, raining. I just want to get. I know, Jay, you said you got to go, and I was just trying to see if anyone wants to say anything, because I know you want to say shit about the Monday night game.
Well, let me just say this, okay? It ended badly for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, not only for him and the organization, but for the fans, insofar as the way that both teams separated, okay? We didn't want to see it end that way. With that being said, I was actually rooting for Aaron to do well in New York. I really was. I like Aaron, even though he can be a little bit recalcitrant sometimes and can be a bit of a jerk towards the media and the fans sometimes. I still wanted to root for him in New York, because you don't ever want to see a player go down the way he did, regardless of how you feel about him. And am I pissed off as a fan about the way Aaron treated the organization and the fans? Yeah. But you know what? There's two sides to the coin. The Packers organization pretty much gave him every runaround, just like he gave them every runaround. So much so that he locked himself in a giant hot box for 4 days, got high, came out, got reborn, and said, I know what I want to do. I want to get the F out of Green Bay. And they placated him, and they said, here you go, Aaron, you got your wish. With that being said, I've always been a Rodgers fan. I will still be a Rodgers fan. I felt really bad for the Jets. Well, okay, I'll take that back. I don't feel bad for the Jets fans. I piss on the Jets fans with all due respect. But with that being said, I didn't want to see Aaron go down that way. I did want to see him succeed in New York. I was rooting for him, and in a way, I'm still rooting for him. So, Aaron, I hope this is not the last time we get to see you under center.
Any other thoughts on this Monday? Joffrey, go ahead. This is your team. Go take it.
Oh, I was going to save me for last on this one, but okay.
I don't really have much to add. I watched the game. Yeah, I was pretty upset he went down. I was pretty hyped for the game. And that's about it, you know. But it was a good game, and I don't know. I think the Jets season's in serious jeopardy now, but we'll see what happens.
So the Aaron Rodgers era for New York started at 8:15 Monday night, ended at 8:27 Monday night. That said, I think we are at a weird impasse where the situation we thought we had escaped from for at least 2 years by trading for Rodgers circles back, and we are back looking at Zach Wilson as our starter. And oddly enough, as a Jets fan and as somebody who has probably been more critical of Zach Wilson and still will be more critical of Zach Wilson than most, I am okay with it. I hated seeing Rodgers go down the way he did on that first drive. I was excited to see what the great A-Rod could do for New York. And he still has a role, even if he is out for the season, because the mentorship he's shown Zach Wilson, after Zach took the field Monday, that first drive was a little dirty. But once we got to see Hackett start adjusting the game plan to fit Zach, I will say the kid looks completely like a different animal than we've seen the past 2 years. I don't know how much of it was A-Rod's tutelage. I don't know how much of it is him realizing, oh, fuck, I could be on my way out and having to step up. But the biggest complaint I have about Zach Wilson right now is something that Hackett needs to beat into his head. When the pocket breaks down, run downhill, not backwards. I'm sure those of you liking flashy, evasive, like slippery weasels probably love seeing Zach run for his life in the backfield because he finds a way to get out of being sacked every damn time. But he could be a great dual threat. That said, I think it's safe to say that the Jets MVP for this game deserves to go to two people. Jordan Whitehead for 3 interceptions in one game. That's freaking huge. As well as Josh Allen for throwing more completions to Jets players in this game than Aaron Rodgers.
Well said.
All right. I know we got to get this wrapped up. Jay got to go. I'm sure John got to go. Joffrey, you're in my kitchen. I have no idea what you got to do. Anyway.
Like I said, I postponed a steak dinner for this.
Well, I hope. Well, obviously we had fun, right? First week, back on the mic. Anyway, Jay, how people get you, man?
Here's how you get me, guys. You can find me.
Let me bring up my Twitter before you, X before you say this, because I'm adding your ass right now.
No worries.
He's gonna finish, and then we're gonna finish. We're gonna go boom, 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 and then out.
Dodger Jason.
That's right. You guys can find me on the artist formerly known as Twitter on X at Dodger Jason. All right, here. I don't have a podcast.
Other side, Jay.
Yeah. So follow me at Dodger Jason, and you can drop any comment you want in there. You can tell me I'm an effing moron. You can tell me I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. That's fine, but follow me. I'll follow you back. Share the love.
Jay, always fun, man. Always an honor to have you on the show, buddy.
And Adam, it's always an honor to be on your show. Love talking sports with you guys all the time. Joffrey, this was my first go around with you, and I must say, as a Jets fan, you did not disappoint. John, it was a pleasure talking sports with you as well. And good luck to your Browns. Jeffrey, I hope your Jets rot in hell. Anyway, with that,
Fuck you, dude.
anyway, I'm out. Everyone, take care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you. And thanks again, Adam. I appreciate it.
Have a good night, Jay.
See you, Jason.
Okay, guys. You too. Bye.
John, how people get you, buddy?
Like always, you can find me in section 312 at the Brown Stadium or on Twitter or X or whatever it's called at jmeets2, which I'm not a big tweeter guy, but I'm there.
Joffrey.
Well, you can follow me on, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to call it Twitter because I still call them the Redskins and the Indians. You can follow me on my personal page at TJEJoker. That's TJEGEOCUR. Or if you want to check out the energy I bring when it comes to sports talk, you can follow me on Twitter at Mooncutters. I know we've been on hiatus just like Adam has been for different reasons, but looking forward to getting the ball rolling again.
Oh, you're leaving. I'm giving you my laptop to get you back on the ball, boy.
Temporarily until I can get mine to a U-break I fix because of my damn dog. But yeah, thank you.
I am at Sports Talking It. Obviously, you see the Hurricane 8 because I am a fucking disaster. Anyway, you can find me at Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube, on X. Yeah, so a lot of fun still, and we're going to call it a wrap. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all of you, and let's do this again. John, I know we need baseball talk because we need to get the Guardians out of our fucking heads.
Yes.
Indians.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Indians.
Just to let you know, if you do the shirt right, all you can read is IANS. It looks like Indians.
Yes, sir.
And we're out.